Good afternoon. My name is Ryan Cole. I'm with the Central Office Personnel, Payroll and Benefits Unit, and I'm the Payroll Manager. Today, I have brought forth an innovative idea, which is the 2020 Payroll Calculator. Now, you might be asking yourself, what's innovative about a calculator? I mean, doesn't everybody be able to use a calculator? It's not something that's necessarily brand new. Well, the thing is that it is innovative because it's new to IDOT, and two, other state agencies also didn't have something like this. The idea was brought forth when personnel was unable to show employees what effect changing withholdings would have on their pay. Additionally, the department's current mainframe system was being completely updated to calculate for the new withholding structure for 2020's federal W-4. A calculator was needed to verify that the payroll system was programmed with the programming changes would compute correctly once it was implemented. All agencies statewide have that same issue. What we decided to do at the Payroll and Benefits Unit was develop a payroll calculator that would provide employees with the to-the-penny estimates for changing their withholdings from the old W-4 to the new structure put out by the federal government for 2020. This enabled being able to see differences in changing deferred compensation and other taxable benefits, what effect this would have on an employee's pay. Also, this enables all the districts and central office timekeepers the ability to accurately show the employee their lump sum payouts and what kind of effect those would have on their withholding structure to try to maximize the amount, if they chose to put in deferred compensation to get them the closest amount to zero as possible. This tool enables the district and central office personnel to provide an enhanced service to employees who would like to know how making certain changes would affect their pay. This calculator was also shared with the Office of the Comptroller, which in turn shared it with other state agencies to help ensure the accuracy of payroll system programming changes. Now again, you see that many agencies did not have something just as simple as this. We was able to put this together so that it accurately, to the penny, calculates everything that is currently in the IDOT payroll system. With simple changes to someone that has a gross pay of $2187.50, a marital status is single, an old W-4, and withholdings at federal exemptions of zero and state exemptions of zero, you see that their federal tax withholding they are to be withheld is $251.80. With a simple change of changing that to the new W-4, we are able to, in turn, show you that under the new 2020 W-4, the amount of federal tax that's supposed to be withheld is $181.74. Now, making other changes, if you want to put in some money into deferred comp, $50. As you can see, this amount down here changes. Anywhere on our form, you can only fill in the blue shaded boxes. This way it keeps people from messing up any type of internal calculations on the form. And anywhere there's one of these red tick boxes, it tells the district or central office timekeeper what they need to do or input in that box. Now, if anybody should have any questions, hopefully they will reach out to the district or to the central office timekeepers now that you do know that we do have this enhanced feature. So that way, if you do want to make changes to your W-4, or if you want to see what happens when you increase your deferred compensation. Now, mind you, we are not tax specialists, and we can't give you tax advice. What we can give you is an estimate of those changes that you decide to make. We'll be able to show you those type of changes and what kind of tax burden or relief you will see when you make those changes. Thank you very much.
Hi, my name is Michael Aldridge, and I am the lab supervisor for metals and miscellaneous products at the Central Bureau of Materials. My idea for the 2020 Innovative Ideas Contest is a process called real-time sampling. Real-time sampling would be a way for trained IDOT inspectors to remotely visit out-of-state producer facilities for material sampling. When a contractor who has an IDOT contract decides to use an out-of-state producer for materials, the producer can now notify Central Bureau of Materials to set up real-time sampling inspections. After getting some information from the producer and inputting this information into the real-time sampling log, they will have a set of tamper-proof serialized tags, labels, or tape assigned to them depending on the size and material type. It will be the responsibility of the producer to pay for shipping of these labels to their facility by the means of prepaid envelopes, FedEx will call, or by us billing their UPS account. It is recommended before shipment of the tags that the IDOT inspector and the producer make sure that their mobile devices and connections are working properly and have the clarity needed to perform the inspection. The IDOT inspector will prepare a set of instructions and expectations to be included with the shipment of the tamper-proof tags to ensure the producer is ready for their real-time sampling inspection. After the producer has received the tags and instructions, the IDOT inspector will set up a real-time sampling inspection on an approved platform for communication like Cisco WebEx or FaceTime. During the real-time inspection, the IDOT inspector will be able to verify stockpiles of materials, certification paperwork, and select exactly what samples they want to obtain, ensuring no biasness during sampling. After the IDOT inspector has selected the samples to be sent in, they will watch the tamper-proof tags be attached to the selected materials and the placement of those samples into appropriate shipping containers. The only thing left to do after this would be to have the producer send the samples to the Bureau of Materials, where we would start the process of testing. Real-time sampling has the potential to greatly speed up material sampling in a world where time is everything. This process could also allow producers across the nation to be more accessible to contractors, thus allowing the materials market to be more competitive and spending taxpayer money in more efficient ways. Thank you for considering my idea in this year's Innovative Ideas Contest.
Hi, I'm Paul Welch. I'm with the Bureau of Materials, District 1. We're going to be doing a lab inspection today. We print vast quantities of inspection forms at the start of the season for the multiple places that we visit. This is how we do lab inspection using the paper packets. We move from station to station. Sometimes you have unexpected obstacles in the way that add a lot more time to the process. At the end of the inspection, we ask the lab manager to sign the form. Then what we do is we leave a copy and place the packet in our file cabinets, which is taking up lots of space. And after a year, we place them in boxes and then ship them out to storage, which is no longer easily accessible, which you will see here in just a bit. We have been issued iPads, opening the door to a lot more options. No more packets, no more copies. We can now use the iPad, get signatures, and email on the spot. No more filing cabinets or offsite storage. We can now save to our network and access as we need.
Hey everyone, this is Abdallah Laune. I'm a project engineer in the Bureau of Design District 1, and I would like to share with you my innovative idea. Every year, new date engineers join the plan preparation section in the Bureau of Design. As you can imagine, getting to know the plan preparation process takes time. The process could be difficult to grasp as there are many requirements and sequential steps. Currently, there is a lack of a concise guide for plan preparation. Lastly, every year, supervisors and senior engineers have to reteach the process to new date engineers. I came up with a design guide tool that is applicable for resurfacing and pavement preservation projects. The tool consists of this main flowchart that lays out the plan preparation process and all the applicable documents and forms that are needed throughout the process. For any project, we have 3 different stages. First, we have request submittals. This lists all the applicable requests needed. Then we have preparing plans using MicroStation and Excel calc sheets. Preliminary submittals is the second stage, and here we have all the required tasks in a sequential manner. After that comes addressing comments and finalizing plans. Lastly, we have final submittals and a breakdown for all required tasks. Also, the proposed design guide tool includes hyperlinks to all required forms, and it guides the engineer through the process with examples. Finally, I would like to show you a quick demonstration. I'll show you a few examples. So for preliminary submittals, the first thing we need to do is to prepare special provisions. As you can see, we have 2 folders, completed example and files to be submitted. Inside the first folder, we can see files that were previously submitted for a similar project. The other folder contains the same files to be prepared by the engineer. Some are shortcuts to ensure that only most up-to-date forms are to be used. Another example is the documents that need to be signed by the executive office. Again, we can see the same structure here. I just want to note that inside the files to be submitted, most of the forms are linked to the Inside IDOT webpage. You can simply get the most up-to-date form just by clicking on it.
Hi, my name is Tom McGowan. I'm the Land Acquisition Engineer for IDOT District 3, and I have over 18 years of experience as the Programming Engineer.
Hi, I'm Ryan Lindenmeyer, Cost and Estimates Engineer for District 3. For 6.5 years, I assisted Tom with programming, and since August of 2019, I've been overseeing the day-to-day programming duties.
Every year, the state of Illinois updates its proposed highway improvement program. This is more commonly referred to as the multi-year program. And at this point in time, 9 IDOT districts do accomplish this. However, they do it with tools that they've created for themselves. Having said this, a tool system has not been developed yet that districts can use to develop a multi-year program in a consistent manner statewide. So we'd like to talk about the tools that we created at District 3. There are 3 primary tools. The first one is a very large Excel workbook file. It has several tabs in it. The first tab is in fact our multi-year program, and it is sorted by categories for resurfacing, non-interstate resurfacing, non-interstate structures, interstate, large intersection improvements and safety improvements, very large major construction improvements, as well as miscellaneous category line items. The second tab in our workbook is in fact all state structures that we are responsible for in our district, and this is even larger. This is what we use to help us determine our program candidates as well as priorities. Another tab that we developed is concerns interstate resurfacing projects. These are the associated structures within them that do not fit on the first spreadsheet, and each project we can see what these structures are, their conditions, and bridge-related cost. 2 more tabs. This one is called the span list. It comes to us from the Bureau of Bridges and Structures. These are structures of concern that all districts statewide address. They are incorporated into our BAMs as well as our first spreadsheet, and we communicate to the bridge office every year about what our status is. This last one is for the Illinois Special Bridge Program. It calculates eligibility for all candidates. This year we just had 1 candidate. Our second tool is a self-explanatory GIS-based MYP map. We color code all of our proposed funding, national highway system routes, and the condition of existing highways. We label ADT and CRS, and we also show our MPO areas. This is what we use to help us determine resurfacing candidates for interstate and non-interstate. Final tool we have here is another Excel workbook file. And this is really more of an annual programming tool. This is what we call our letting analysis spreadsheet. This is the summary sheet for all projects that go to letting throughout the year. And this is an example of one of the tabs for an individual letting where individual projects as well as all the contractors and their bids are laid out for us.
Over time, various enhancements have been incorporated within our tools using visual basic formulas and to automatically calculate such things as program estimates based on proposed resurfacing and structure dimensions, as well as TAM criteria, conditional formatting for extensive color coding throughout our BAM spreadsheet, hyperlinks to core data and interstate resurfacing structure data and costs, automatic transfer and population of structure data from the BAM spreadsheet into our other tabs, eligibility for Illinois Special Bridge Program funds, and boilerplate improvement values used for program estimates taken from our letting analysis spreadsheet. This has resulted in greater efficiency, accuracy, and time savings for us with the multi-year and annual program development and tracking.
We've been using these tools now for over 15 years, and we have a great deal of confidence in the quality of the programs that we submit because of being able to utilize these tools.
Thank you for watching our topic, and feel free to contact either Tom or me if you'd like to learn more about our programming tools.
Hello, I'm Eric Little from District 6 Operations, Service, and Development Section. Each year we are tasked with doing the equipment inventory for the district's operations section. In the past, we would have to print off reports for each team section and manually go down the list to find the equipment number. This is a slow process of looking through many pages of reports for each team section. We have tried to automate this process for the last couple years, and have finally developed an app for our tablets, iPhones, or iPads that is an electronic version that can be uploaded to the device, and once the inventory has been done, it is automatically saved to our spreadsheets for each team section. The app was developed and refined by our rotating engineers and was finalized and beta tested by GTON. Here is how the app works. We take the tablet into the field with all the different team sections information loaded into it. We select the team section and yard location information where we will be working. Identify the equipment inventory number. Type that number into the tablet. The app finds that number. We tap the Found button. That changes the background color of that number and records date, time, user, and location of that item. This app is capable of filtering the list according to team section, automatically email a list of unfound items to the lead worker for him to look for. All this information is recorded in Excel spreadsheets for ease of searching, reviewing, and error finding. We believe that this app will save us days of effort to meet the requirements for inventory verification.
All right, hello everyone. I'm Jay Wavering with District 6, and today I'm going to present to you D6's solution to the paper pre-final plan circulation process. I'm sure the majority of folks are familiar with the cumbersome current process that is in place, which is especially time-consuming for designers. So what we came up with is essentially an electronic circulation process that utilizes Microsoft Office products, specifically Microsoft Teams, and in conjunction with the use of Adobe DC. I guess one of the biggest advantages I can see about this process is that it utilizes software that we already have in place. So how does it work, one might ask? I'll kind of walk you through a quick demo here. First, the designer would create the electronic files, project files for all the PS&E documents needed for circulation. And this is similar to all the documents that you see here. So these are uploaded to a centralized location. It is cloud-based, and it utilizes Microsoft Teams to allow for collaboration. Once the files are uploaded to the site, then the files are shared to all those that need to review the plans, and this is done simply by clicking this share folder and entering the name of the email addresses. So I'll enter my name here, click here. We already have a predetermined list of folks that review plans. Once those folks are added, then the link is sent. This allows everyone to get access to the files and to begin their reviews, and gives them the ability to add their comments. So you'll also notice that within this file we have a plan circulation comments file. This is a OneNote file that utilizes like I was saying, OneNote, and it is set up kind of as an organizational tool to help with those reviewing plans. So we've got 3 tabs set up here. If you'll notice, we'll have program development, project implementation, and operations. And then there's a list of folks here that essentially would have a chance to review the plans and special provisions, things of that nature. So as you can see from this example here, our PD engineer has added some comments that are in regards to the plans, and if you'll also notice, the text that is written in red here is how the comment was addressed. This is all live information, and everyone who has access to the folder can see what comments have been made, who made the comments, and then ultimately how they've been addressed. You can also, another advantage to this is you can also edit or add comments to plan sheets. And this can be done if I go back to the original file folder. The pre-final plans are in PDF format. If you click on that there, the PDF link, this will take you to the actual plans. And you can see by the red there that those are the comments that were added in regards to the various sheets. You can also, through the use of Adobe, see who made those comments on the right hand side of the screen here, and then also gives you the ability for how the comments were addressed by typing your response there. So in a nutshell, this is kind of our latest process that we've put in place. We have utilized this process for both the March and April lettings. Of course, with anything new, we've had some initial hurdles, but overall it has been very well received. Some of the benefits that we have experienced are hard copies are no longer required, which reduced the amount of paper used. Before we were creating mountains and mountains of paper, especially with our larger projects. All D6 staff or district staff can make comments simultaneously, so you're not necessarily waiting on someone else to complete their reviews. Comments happen in real time. This is a huge benefit. It has improved the district review times. It's reduced the number of duplicate comments by allowing folks to see what others are commenting on. And it also has allowed team leaders to begin addressing those comments prior to the circulation deadline. So definitely some improved efficiencies there. The files can also be accessed remotely and from mobile devices, which makes it handy for those that are out in construction and not necessarily sitting at a desk. The shareable links can also be provided to consultants and others outside of IDOT. We have tried this with several consultants that are submitting plans for a letting, and we've had very good success with them and good feedback. The district also sees the potential to expand upon this initial concept and apply this to more than just plan circulation. By utilizing clouds-based services such as Microsoft Teams, it allows for early and ongoing collaboration across bureaus and even with consultants. Microsoft Teams has also the potential to provide a platform to share ideas, ask and respond to inquiries, provide insight, and coordinate and schedule in a centralized location while being controlled by the project manager. So there's definitely some room for improvement and growth. So that kind of summarizes our process that we have in place. I'd like to thank you for the opportunity to share this with you. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to stop by our booth and we can show you this in a little greater detail. Thank you.